Paula Dean and friends. I say friends instead of Real Women of Philadelphia because I feel like at this point in the process we're all getting to be good friends. So why not just throw it out there? Paula, friends, I'm Miller-Tobin and welcome to my kitchen. Today I thought we would get started right in the middle of prep. Mix things up a little bit, do things a little bit differently. The hair's not quite done, hence the headband, but the makeup's on. And we're just going to jump right in here today. Today we are making my roasted tomato and pepper soup with a little bit of a pesto cream cheese sauce that we're just going to dollop on at the finish. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You're going to want about 4 pounds of tomatoes. I know it sounds like a lot, but like I said, I believe in one of my earlier videos, I like to cook big. And you're just going to throw the whole tomato into a big roasting pan. You can use all kinds of tomatoes. I like to use big heirlooms. I've got a couple of nice big fat ones. Let me just show you my produce basket. I'm so excited. Yesterday was the first day of our Clintonville Farmers Market here in Columbus. And I went down and I found all kinds of wonderful greenhouse tomatoes because obviously we're in Ohio, we're not growing them outside just yet. But I was able to pick up my seedlings. I usually put in a big vegetable patch in back. Last year I had 25 plants that I had started from seedling. This year I've started 50 seeds. So I think I'm going to have to give a few away. Either that or we're going to have to buy the neighbor's house next door and expand. So I picked up a nice mixture of heirlooms that I found available yesterday. I like to use yellows and golds, a mixture of sweet and acidic, and we're just going to throw it all in. There's a nice little Roma. We'll cut that in half, toss that in there. Then we're also going to use a variety of peppers. I like to use orange, red, yellows, and we're going to use about 1 pound or 2 of those. So I'm going to get the rest of this all chopped up, throw it in my pot, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we've just about got everything into our roasting pan. I've got all of my tomatoes, my red, yellow, and orange peppers, my jalapenos cut up, 2 onions, just rough cut, toss it in there, whole head of garlic. Just pound it, peel off all of the papers, throw it in. And I'm going to finish cutting up my bacon here, and we're going to toss that in. And that bacon is just going to melt down into the tomatoes. You're going to get that good base of a little bit of a meaty flavor. Not too much, just a little bit. You can use a half a package, a whole package. You don't have to use the bacon if you don't want to. I like how the bacon flavors, so we're going to use the bacon. And last but not least, we're going to put in some of this wonderful fresh basil that I got at the farmer's market yesterday. I'm just so excited that the farmer's market are starting back up again. There's nothing like being able to buy local produce, and until I can get it growing in my own garden, once the temperatures stabilize, I'm happy to support my local farm groups, my local co-ops. Okay, we're just going to salt and pepper this a little bit. I've got a little bit of sea salt. I've preheated my oven to 450 degrees. Oops, that's the salt shaker. We need the pepper shaker. And there we go. We're just going to pepper it up a bit. You can salt and pepper to your own taste. If you're wanting a low sodium, you can leave out the bacon, leave out the sea salt. And then we're going to put roughly about 4 tablespoons of olive oil over this. We're going to give it a quick hand toss. That looks about right. Oh, what the heck. Let's mix it up, have a little bit of fun. Sprinkle a little balsamic in there. Other than the raw bacon that's sitting in there, that looks like a wonderful salad to me. Just give me a fork and knife. Okay, we're going to mix this up. Put it in a 450 degree preheated oven for about 25-30 minutes. You want to spread all of these things out. Get your garlic mixed in. There we go. Wipe off my hands so I don't drop the pan. And we'll get this in the oven. We'll be back and we'll blend her all up, get it into a soup pot, and finish it off in just a little bit. Welcome back. As you can see, the vegetables are out of the oven. We've already run them through the blender and we've got them in the pot. And we just have a few little things yet to add. Now when you're blending all of the vegetables and the bacon together, all of the juices that cook down in the oven, you want to throw those in. You don't want to miss a single drop. Now, I've got this in my soup pot. I'm adding my 4 tablespoons of butter and 8 ounces of cream cheese. And we're just going to slide that off there, and we're just going to stir and melt that in. It's going to help thicken and soak in the soup and give it just the right kind of finish we're looking for. Also at this point is where I tinker around a little bit with my flavors. I like to add a little bit of red pepper flakes just to give it a little bit of a kick. And to that I will often add a blend of Italian seasonings. And also you can add a little bit more dry basil if you want to kick up the basil flavor in the soup a little bit. And we're going to get that all stirred in here and we'll be ready to plate it up and serve it here in just a few minutes. I'm really happy to share this recipe with you today. It's a recipe that has become very close to my heart. My dad passed away in October from lung cancer, and during the last several months of his life, due to the cancer and the chemo, nothing much tasted very good to him. Now, that was something that Dad and I always did together. We used to compete to see who would grow the first tomato of the season, who would pick the first ripened tomato of the season. Well, last year, Mom and I planted the tomatoes for him. He wasn't real up to doing the planting himself, but on good days, he would go out and he would take a look. And I picked the first tomato last year. I think I had good odds with 25 tomato plants. But I made this soup, and as I would take this soup home, it became one of his favorite things to eat. He lost his sense of taste because of the cancer and the chemo, but in the end he found that he could really taste the flavors of this soup, and when Mom couldn't get him to eat anything else, he would ask for this soup. So I like to think it gave him a little bit of comfort, and it made me happy that he liked it so much. So this recipe means a lot to me, and it means a lot to me to share it with all of you, all of my new friends out there in the real women of Philadelphia land. So we're going to ladle this up. The butter and the cream cheese has melted into the soup. And we're just going to put some in a great big bowl here. You'll still be able to see little flecks and specks of your herbs and a little bit of your peppers every here and there. You'll be able to see that. Now I went ahead and made the pesto cream cheese sauce ahead of time, and that's just 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese with about a 1/4 cup of pesto. I used my own pesto, but you can get pesto pretty much at any grocery store. So we're just going to sprinkle in a few croutons here just to dress it up. I'm going to get out a spoon, and we're going to drop a dollop of this pesto cream cheese right there in the center. Another nice big one. Doesn't that look good? Clean up the edges of our bowl here. And there you have it. Roasted tomato and pepper soup with a cream cheese pesto splush on top, a schmutz. So I'm going to dip a little bit of this out for myself here, and let's have a taste. Dad, I'm thinking of you today. Oh, that's so good. Thank you for joining me. I hope you'll try this recipe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.